Hi there, Stephanie here. This week I did a free webinar for the Reading League Ohio about small group instruction. And there were 4 questions that kept coming up over and over again in the chat. And these are common questions that you might have too. So I'm going to take a stab at addressing each one of these. The first question is, I thought small group instruction was for Tier 2. We do whole group Tier 1 instruction, and our small group time is Tier 2 or Tier 3. This is a number one misconception about the 3-tiered model. And your best opportunity to increase reading outcomes for your students is to maximize the time that students spend in small groups, including small group in Tier 1. Second common question is, how do I group my students if I'm not using leveled readers or some kind of an assessment that leads to assigning levels to students? And the response would be, in general, to use skills, to use the foundational or essential early literacy skills to form skill-based small groups. So put students together who are struggling with letter sound or struggling to read multi-syllable words, or students who are accurate readers but not yet fluent. Use those foundational skills to form your groups. This is where you need a really good assessment system. You need screening data to give you a general sense of how to group students. Diagnostic data will help you refine those small groups. And then progress monitoring data will help you mix up the groups, reshuffle them, reform those groups as needed over time. A third common question about small group is, what are the other students doing while I'm working with a small group? And I have 2 responses to this. First of all, if you can work it so that everybody's in a small group, that's ideal. And again, this should happen during Tier 1 and during intervention time for some students. So using something like a walk to read model, where you're grouping students across what we might think of as homeroom classes, so that everybody's getting small group. And you have to have flexible service delivery to make this happen, meaning all of your resource support people need to be coming to Tier 1 to support that differentiation. This means everybody can't teach reading at the same time, so that those support people can focus on certain grade levels or move between the grade levels. And if it's not possible to do that, then my other response to what are the other kids doing when I'm with a small group would be that those activities should just be practice. So they're going to be working in centers, they're going to be working with a partner or in a small group without a teacher, depending on the grade level. But what those students are doing should not be new learning for them. Should not be skills that they are still acquiring. It should only be practice of skills that you have seen them perform accurately when they are with you. So more repetition of the skills that you have seen them already perform is the idea for that independent work time or centers or literacy stations. So those are differentiated as well. And then the 4th question that comes up often is, what should I use for my small group instruction? And here I would send you to the same kind of lesson format that hopefully you're using in whole group instruction, but certainly in small group instruction, that moves students from paying attention to the sounds in spoken words to mapping sounds to print, being able to read and spell words with the pattern that you're teaching, being able to read those words automatically by practicing reading them in lists, reading them in phrases, sentences, decodable text, talking about what they're reading in text. So that good structured lesson format where you'll see, for example, in the free West Virginia phonics lesson plans, something like that is what you want to either look for in a program or build into your small group lessons yourself. So I'll put the link to that webinar that I did for the Reading League Ohio in the comments so you can access that. Hopefully responding to these frequent questions will also be helpful to you.